Good morning, everyone. So, today we are going to learn about the international migration. So, international migration of India is two types. So, actually, according to UNDP, United Nations Development Program, UNDP is the one of the international organization. It is the agency of UNO, United Nations Organization. So, according to its report 2012, there are 200 million people were migrated across the world. So, it means 20 crore people were migrated across the world. Within that, so 70 million, less than 70 million people were migrated from one developing country to another developing country. So this is the report was given by the UNDP. So now the migration. So the international migration of India is two types. One is the professionals and skilled migrants and unskilled and semi-skilled migrants. The first category is the professionals and technical skilled migrants. For example, doctors, lawyers, managers, IT professionals, etc. come under this category. But according to 1950s and 60s, 1960s, only the unskilled workers were migrated from India to other developed countries. But later, so professionals and technical skilled workers, so professionals also migrated to other developed countries. So unskilled workers are migrated to UK and Canada initially. Later, professionals, so doctors, engineers, IT professionals, and lawyers, managers are migrated from India to other countries such as USA, Canada, UK, and Australia. They were migrated mostly. So not only in these countries, gradually our Indians also migrated to different countries across the world. The countries are the Germany, Norway, Japan, Malaysia, etc. So according to the 1950s, our migration from India to developed countries, there are only 10,000 people migrated per annum, per a year. But that number was increased in 1990s. That is the 60,000 the professionals were migrated from India to developed countries. So like that, the migration, professionals were increased. They were migrated from India to other countries. So that is about the professionals and technical skilled migration. Next, semi-skilled and unskilled and semi-skilled migration. The second category of the migration, international migration, is the semi-skilled and unskilled migration of India. So mostly the Indians were migrated from India to Gulf countries. Gulf countries means West Asian countries, the oil exporting countries, oil producing and exporting countries. Those are the two countries. Example, the Saudi Arabia and UAE, United Arab Emirates. Mostly from India to the people who are unskilled workers were migrated to Gulf countries. The number is per year 3 lakhs people were migrated every year from India to Gulf countries. So nearly 30 lakhs the semi-skilled and skilled workers migrated to the Gulf countries. So two-thirds of the semi-skilled and skilled workers are belongs to three states. Those are the Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh. These three states, from these three states, the people mostly migrated. The semi-skilled and unskilled workers are migrated to other countries. Though the large number of the people are belongs to three states: the Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh. So one third of the income, the remittance was sent by the Kerala migrant Keralates from the abroad to Kerala. The share is the 1/5 of the share was dominated the GDP of Kerala. So and also the average, the consumption of the Kerala is lower compared to national average in 1970s. When we are observed data 1970s, according to that, the Kerala average consumption rate is low compared to national average. But later, after 30 years, when we observe, means after 30 years, means 2000, after the 2000 year, we were observed, means the Kerala consumption rate, the Kerala average consumption rate was increased 40% above national average. It means they earned huge money in the abroad, and the money was sent into their families to Kerala. So this is about the the unskilled and semi-skilled workers. This is the second category of international migration. So now we are learning about another topic, that is Immigration Act 1983. So this is the one of the important act was made by the Indian government. It is provide the safeguard and security and protect the interests of the Indian migrants who are migrated from India to other countries. They are doing different works in the abroad. So the Immigration Act 1983. This is the act. This is the law of. This is the Indian law. This is the Indian law which was govern the migration. Which was govern the migration and the migrants. Of Indians abroad, the migrants of the employment of Indians abroad, the employment, those who are doing works in abroad. So it is the act which was govern the migration and the employment of Indian abroad, and it is protect the rights of the Indian employee who are working in abroad. So they have right, people who are doing in the foreign countries, they have right to give complaints against their employer give complaints to embassies. So embassies was set up by the Indian government in different countries. These embassies means these are the representatives of the India, and they were protect the rights of the migrants who are doing works in other countries. So the people who are working in other countries, they have right to give complaint against their employers to the embassies. So if they are not, according to the agreement, according to contract, if they are not paying the salaries, they are paying less than the agreement, means they have right to complaint into embassies. And also they are forced to work more hours. They are not giving the overtime payments. If they are not giving overtime payments and forced to do the long hours, means then also they have right to give complaint to the embassies. According to the agreement, they have to work. If they are violated the agreement, the employer was violated the agreement, means the employee have right to give complaint against the employer into the embassies. So and also the if the like recruitment agencies, if the recruitment agencies was collected high fees, means additional money when compared to minimum fees, means then also they have right to give complaint against the recruitment agencies into the embassies. So like the migrants who are doing work in other countries, they have right to give complaint against. They did get the justice by the embassies. But mostly in Indian workers who are working in abroad, professionals as well as the workers, they are not giving any complaint against their employers because of they feared that they lost their job. So this is about the Immigration Act 1983. Now we are going to another topic, that is the inbox information about a weak rupee, a boon, as sent uh, remittances sent to Kerala. Remittances sent sent to Kerala. Kerala top 75,000 crores. A weak rupee, a boon. Remittances inflows to Kerala top 75 crores. So actually the India in 2012 and 2030, at the time the Indian economy was come under the crisis. We are facing problems. The rupee was lost its the value, lost its value. Rupee was not having that much of value in the international market. At the time, the Keralates are laughing. So who are working in abroad, they are happy. How because they are earning money in other countries, and they send their money to their families to Kerala. So that's why their families are happy. They are having high purchasing power, and also they are purchased the luxury cars during the Onam festival. So at the particular time in Punjab, Punjab not having that much of market. The Punjab is also the one of the region. The migrants, they get the immigration money. So they are also not there that much of market when compared to Kerala market. Kerala market is they are purchased a lot of large luxury cars during the Onam festival. So when we are comparing 2012 and 2030's deposits into the banks, means when we have understand how the differences is there. So actually the Kerala Kerala state level banks committee, according to the Kerala state level bank committee report, 32.8% of the money, the deposits, are the remittance money. Among the deposits of the Kerala states, among the deposits of Kerala state, it means remittance money is high, 32.8%. 32.8% deposits they are getting from the remittance in their banks compared to whole deposits of the states. The state level Kerala Banks Committee report. So in 2012, according to the June 2012 financial year, the bank's target was reached 55,660 crores. That is the remittance which was sent by Keralates. That is 55,660 crores. So next year June 2013. So it was within the 6 months. Within the six months, they reached the target. So the remittance money reached into 75,000 crores within the 6 months. This means the 20,220 crores additional remittance the banks were got it. So that's why this is the change how the Keralates were doing jobs in foreign countries, and they are earning money, huge money, and those money was sending to the villages, sending to the Kerala. So that the share is so high. So remittance share is 35% in GDP of Kerala. 35% share in GDP of the Kerala. So this is about the last topic. So we have discussed a weak rupee, a boon under the economic crisis in India. Even though the remittance inflows to Kerala is top. Remittance inflows to Kerala top 75,000 crores. So we have completed this lesson, children. So we are having all the videos on a total topic explanation is there. So you have to watch it. So once I want to repeat it, what are the topics are come under this lesson? This is the lesson, 8th lesson. So people and migration. The first topic is a Ramaya migrant teacher. A Ramaya migrant teacher, how he has how he has studied, how he had migrated from one place to another place during his studies, during the government job also he was transferred from one place to another place. The details are there, so you have to learn about that. Next, the classifier, classify measures, classify the measures of migration patterns, classify the measures of migration patterns. So there are two the ways through which we can measure the migration patterns. One is birth rate, another one is last usual place of residency. Okay, children, that is the topic. So classify the measure and classify and classify the migration patterns. Next, rural and urban migration. Rural and urban migration, another topic. Next, next one is the seasonal and temporary migration. Seasonal and temporary migration. We have learned about the example of Maharashtra. Example we have learned, that is the Maharashtra sugar cultivators. Next one, national labor, national rural labor. So national National Commission of Rural Labor. National Commission of Rural Labor. It is set up in 1990s. It is set up in 1990s. It is work for welfare of the migrant laborers. It is the National Commission of Rural Labor. Next, what happens when migration was taken place? What happens when migration takes international migration? Just now I was explaining you. Okay, thank you, children. Thank you very much.